everyone, and welcome back to Fiber Theory. Today I'm going to teach you how to make this hat. And what you're going to need, first of all, are two different size crochet hooks. You need a size H, which is also a size 8 or a size 5 millimeter. And you're also going to need a size J, or what is considered a size 10, or an 8 millimeter hook. I have this yarn that I chose at Hobby Lobby today. It's called I Love This Yarn, and it is in light gray. For a hat this size, you're not going to use the entire skein, but I would suggest getting an entire skein so that you can have some yarn to work with. Anyway, we're going to make this hat in the round. We're not going to turn our work, and it's going to come along very quickly, and I think you guys are going to like it. So let's get started. Okay guys, now if you have not learned the back post double crochet or the front post double crochet, I would suggest that you go back to those videos that I taught earlier and learn those stitches first, and then you can come on back here and you can do the project. Let's go ahead and make a slip knot. And go ahead and grab your smaller hook. And let's go ahead and start the band. I need you to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now you guys have already learned the single crochet, and we're going to use a single crochet for this part of the project. What I have not taught you yet is how to crochet into the back posts of a stitch. So what you're going to do is on the chain, first of all, you're going to go ahead and find the second chain from your hook. Now let me see if I can get this close enough so you can see. Okay, so let me show you what you guys have so far. Okay, you have this loop that's on your hook, and then you have the one right below it here, and that is where your yarn is coming out of. Okay, you want to go ahead and ignore that particular space. Do you see the one right below it? Right here. This is the space that we're going to use next. Alright, so go ahead and pass up the space where the yarn is coming out of, go to the next space here in your chain and make a single crochet. Alright, so now when you get down here to the end, I want you to chain 1, and this chain 1 is going to count as your very first single crochet on the next row. Go ahead and turn your work, and right in here, in this post right here where my hook is, right behind it, you're going to see a V there, the two legs of that V. Alright, that V is what you're going to work in right now. Do you see above it where that yarn is coming out of that space? We're going to again ignore that space. We're going to go to the next space down, which is right here, and you're going to put your hook right through that back loop, grab your yarn, and make a single crochet right there. And then you're going to find the next post here, and you're going to find the back loop right here, and you're going to put your hook right underneath that little leg, and you're going to grab your yarn and pull it through. Okay, and then make and finish off your single crochet. Now if you'll see what it's doing, it brings these little legs of the V out front toward you. So keep going down the chain, and keep making these little single crochets inside the V's. Alright, until you have 8. And you'll know you have 8 because right down here at the very end you have this one last V here, and you're going to go ahead and put your hook right through that leg right there, and grab the yarn and pull it through. Now you have 8 stitches. Now what you're going to do, the same way you did the last row, you're going to do again. Chain 1, and remember that that is your very first single crochet for the next row. Turn your work, and right at the top of this post right here in the back is that V. Go ahead and put your hook through the back leg of that V, grab your yarn, pull it through, and make your single crochet. Same with the next one. That back loop back here, right there, make your next single crochet. The next V right here, right in the back loop. Alright, Just keep doing that all the way down, going to the next V, back loop of the next V, all the way down, next back loop, single crochet, next back loop, single crochet, next back loop, and this is the last one, single crochet, chain one, back is the first single crochet of the next row. When you go in here to make your very first single crochet here, you want to say 2 and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now this is what your work should look like so far. Okay, you'll notice that you have rises on this side and goes down, rises and goes down. So you have these little mountains. Now in each mountain, okay, you have 2 rows. So this one and this one here on either side of the raised part is 2 rows, and then you have these 2 here, and these are 2 rows as well. So then go ahead and continue. Chain 1, that's 1 single crochet. Find that first post, find the V on top, and make your second single crochet. And then just keep doing that all the way down as you go. In all the back loops, just like this. And then what's happening, as you'll see, you're making these little raised edges. They kind of go like this, like little dips. And that actually makes a really nice edging for your hat brim. The hat brim will be worn this way, so when you wear it on your head, the mountains will be vertical, okay? This is going to make the fabric more stretchy, and it just makes a really great band. So go ahead and continue the same pattern, chaining 1, counting that as your first single crochet, making your second single crochet until you have a bunch of these. You're going to say 2, 4, 6, and then just count up till you have 58. And then when you have 58, I'm going to meet you back here. Then we're going to go ahead and finish off the brim. Okay, you guys, so I am down here at the end of row 57. I'm going to chain 1, turn my work. I'm going to go ahead and work the last row, row 58. Now what you want to do is get both ends of your band. Make sure it's not twisted. You want to bring them together like this. Now keeping in mind your hook is still on the side, the yarn is still coming from the hook, okay? And then what you're going to do is grab your yarn, turn your work, and now we're going to connect the band at the end. So the first thing you want to do is come over here to where you have the very, very last stitch over here, okay? You want to go right through that stitch right there, grab your yarn and pull it through both loops, okay? Now, in order for this to look as close as possible to the ribbing that you've already done, you need to go inside this back loop. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can get my iPad is having a hard time with focusing today for some reason. Okay, there is a back loop right here that you need to go under, and then go through that space and then bring it out and go through both loops. Same thing, next row here, that back loop here, go underneath that back loop like this, go through the next space here, grab the yarn, pull it through, bring it through the first 2 spaces and through this final loop on your hook. All right, one more, last one right here, through here somewhere, and just pull it through, and there you go. All right, so we finished the band, and now what we need to do is change our hook. Now we need to get our size J, and it needs to be used from here on out. Go ahead and put your hook through the loop. Now what we need to do from here on out is every single one of the rows that you made, remember your rows are, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Remember the peaks and the valleys are your rows. What you need to do is put 1 single crochet into every single row that you have, except that in this row we're going to go ahead and increase 2 stitches, so we have 60 stitches to work in for our cables. Right here you're going to chain 2, and then what you're going to do is, see how you have this line of V's right here? Pull that apart and you're going to see a little tiny space like right here, that little open space right there. I want you to put your hook in that space, grab your yarn, pull it through, and make another single crochet. That's technically the very same row, so we just made 2 single crochets. That's your very first increase. So now we're going to go ahead and make 1 single crochet in every single row from here on. We're going to go over here to this other side over here and make a single crochet. And then over here, instead of going into the top, see that top space right there? Go ahead and miss that space and go down to the next space here and put your next single crochet. So in the very top of this valley row here, we're going to go ahead and make a single crochet here, and then we're going to go ahead and make another one over here in this row, but we're going to miss the top up here, and we're going into the bottom one here, and then just keep doing that. The top on this one, miss this one, and go to the one below it. Keep doing that. Now what I want you to do is make sure that you have exactly 30 of these. When you get to 30, I'm going to meet you back and we're going to go ahead and make another increase. Okay guys, here we have the next space that we're going to put number 30 in. I want you to miss this space here, go into the one below it, and make 30. Now right in that same space that you made 30, I want you to make number 31. Okay, that's your very last increase for this row. And then just continue on down, making your single crochets until you get to the end, and I will meet you back there. Okay guys, so we're at the very end of the row, and what I'm going to show you here is that this row here actually sits on top of this one. Okay, so it's actually invisible. This should actually be behind here, basically. You've already got 60 single crochets by the time you get here. This one right here is not a stitch. So what you're going to do is skip over this completely, and you're going to find the very first single crochet that you made, or your chain rather, the part that was the chain, and here is the single crochet that you made. There is the chain that you made. There's that second chain. Remember I said chain 2? That's the space from the chain 2. Go ahead and go inside that space, grab your yarn, pull it through, and make a slip stitch, and now you just connected your work. Now that we've got 60 stitches, we need to make an entire row of double crochets. So I'm going to have you go ahead and do that. I'll start it off with you, and then I will meet you back at the end of the row. So let's go ahead and chain 2. And in every single space, we're not going to turn our work for this. What we're going to do, underneath the little V's in those little spaces, you're going to make double crochets. Okay, I'm just going to keep making them. You don't need to do any increases or anything. We've already made our increases for this hat. So you're just going to go ahead and make all of your double crochets all the way around inside the single crochet stitches that you've made before. And then you're going to go ahead and meet me at the end over here. When you get all the way around the hat, I'll meet you over here. 58, 59, and 60. Now you guys are going to come over here to where the post is here, this is your chain, and then your first double crochet, go between the chain and the post, go in there, grab your yarn, bring it through, and make a slip stitch. Okay, so you just connect it again. Now what we're going to do is get prepared for our cables. Now what I want to show you really quickly is how we're going to do this construction by bringing in this hat so you can see what I'm talking about. We've done the band. Okay, so the band, the little mountains are vertical here. And what else we've done? We've done the single crochet row, which is here, which is what we did inside the band. And then the double crochets are here that we put inside the single crochets. So far you have this part of the hat completed. Okay. Now we have to go ahead and start doing our cables. So this is the row that we start the cables in. You'll notice on this hat you have back post double crochets because you would have already learned how to do the back post double crochets in the other video that I taught them in. And then next to them you're going to have the cable stitches, which are also front post double crochets. So what we're going to do is with this next 2 stitches that we're about to make, we are going to make 2 back post double crochets, and then we're going to start with the cables. So in the last video I taught you guys how to make cables. We did a 6 post cable in that video. In this video we're going to do a 4 post cable. That means we're going to use 4 stitches complete to make an entire cable. That means that you're not going to need to use the front post triple crochet because we don't need the length on the stitch when it slants. So what we're going to do is use the front post double crochets because they're long enough. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so for the life of this hat, until we are finished, every single time you start a brand new row, you're going to need to make sure that this post here, which is starting the new row, is going to have a back post double crochet. So what you need to do is chain 1, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take your hook around, and you're going to come up right between these 2 posts right here. Go around the post here, grab your yarn, pull it through so you have 2 loops on your hook, and then pull through to make a single crochet. And then you're going to chain 1. Now what that's done is it's pulled this post back here, it's pulled it backward. So now you're going to have a proper back post double crochet. Go ahead and grab your yarn again, and we're going to make a back post double crochet around the next post. And now we're going to start the cables. Now the cables are going to be in these 4 stitches here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we're going to do is grab our yarn. We're not going to make the triple crochet, so we don't need to yarn over twice. We're going to skip these 2 first double crochets right here. We've worked in this one, we've worked in this one, now we're going to skip this one, and we're going to go into the 3rd one. This is your first set of 2 double crochets, this is your second set of 2. So we're going to work into the second set of 2 first. So what you're going to do is make your front post around the 3rd post in the row, and grab your yarn and go ahead and finish off that double crochet. Alright, front post double crochet around the next post, and now you're going to go ahead and grab your yarn and go back to the very first stitch that you missed and go ahead and make your double crochet there, and then go around the next post and do the exact same thing. We're just going back to the posts that we skipped. That's going to cause the crisscross. And now we're going to go ahead and move on down. These are going to be back post double crochets. So make sure to go around the back, grab your yarn, pull them through, and finish off your double crochet. Do it again into the next post here like this, and go around and finish off that back post double crochet. And now here you're going to go ahead and do a cable again. Over, skip 2 double crochets, make a front post double crochet around the 3rd post, make another front post double crochet around the next post. Now we're going to go back to the ones we skipped. I'm going to grab the yarn, go around the first post, make a front post double crochet, grab the yarn, go around the next post that you missed, and make another front post double crochet. Now I'm going to show you what we've done. We have 2 back post double crochets here. Okay, we have a cable, we have 2 more back post double crochets, and we have another cable. This is the pattern that we are going to follow throughout the rest of this hat. So after the cable, we're going to go and make 2 back post double crochets, and then we're going to make our cable. Skip 2, front post around the third post, front post around the 4th post, front post around the first one you skipped, front post around the second one that you skipped. So what you're going to do, and if you need to write this down, that's probably a good idea. You're going to go ahead and do 2 back post double crochets and then 1 cable, 2 back post double crochets, 1 cable, 2 back post double crochets, 1 cable. And you're going to end up at the very end when you finish. These last 4 stitches right here are going to be your very last cable, because the next stitches over are back post double crochets. And that's what it looks like. Now you have this area here. What you're going to do is find the 2 posts, the 2 back posts, go between them, grab your yarn, and make a slip stitch. Now, as I said before, we're not going to turn our work, so we're going to continue working in the round. What you're going to need to do, since this is the very first stitch of the next row, you're going to go ahead and chain 1. We're going to make a back post double crochet around the back post double crochet. Go around the post, go up, grab the yarn, pull it through, and finish that off with a single crochet and chain 1. All right, yarn over, make a back post double crochet around this post here, and you are done. Now, these are very hard to see. You're going to have to find your 2 posts back here. Turn the work over, you can see them. There's 1 and 2. Those are your 2 posts, okay? So what you want to do is work around the first one. And basically what we're going to do, and this is the rule for this type of project, when you see a back post double crochet, you make a back post double crochet around it. When you see a front post double crochet, you make a front post double crochet around it. So what you're going to do is find that very first stitch, which is right there, okay, on where my right finger is. You're going to go ahead and grab your yarn, go from front to back in this space here, go around the post in the back and come up through this other space, and then grab your yarn and pull it through, and then finish off the double crochet. And then you're going to do the same thing again with the second one that's back here. Pop that up so you can see it. Grab your yarn, go around from the front here through that space, around the back of the post to the space here, grab your yarn, pull it through, and finish off the double crochet. And these 2 here are just easy to see, so go ahead and make your 2 front post double crochets around the first one and the second one. And that's done. Okay, now you have 2 back post double crochets, and you're going to go ahead and make 2 back post double crochets, and then you're going to work your next cable. Once again, you find those posts in the back. This is honestly, guys, this is going to be probably the hardest row that you're going to have to do. Every time you come up to this particular row where you can't see your stitches, this is really the hardest part of it. It's not even about the stitches, it's just about finding the posts that you need to work around. Find your posts, grab your yarn, and make your first front post double crochet around that post. Grab your yarn, find the next post, and make your second front post double crochet and finish it off. And then finish off these 2 front post double crochets right here. Now go ahead and make your back post double crochets. Remember, if you see back post double crochets, you're just gonna make back post double crochets. If you see front post double crochets, you're gonna make front post double crochets. Go ahead and work around the posts of your next cable. Work your back post double crochets, go all the way around, do what you need to do until you come to the very last cable area, and I will meet you back here. Okay, so here we are at the very end. We're going to go ahead and finish off this very last cable. Notice I just kind of move everything around and out of the way with my finger as I go. Okay, so I'm going to finish that off there. And then over here where our two back post double crochets are, we're going to go right in the center here and go ahead and grab our yarn, pull it through, and there you go. Okay, now for the next row, we're going to go ahead and chain one, go back around here, around the post, to the space, grab the yarn, pull it through, and now we can make a single crochet and chain one. Remember, as I said before, this always has to be a back post double crochet right here because we're making a back post double crochet right next to it. So go ahead and make that next back post double crochet. Okay, so we're going to do one more row to bring these cables up a little bit higher, and then after we get around to the end, we're going to go ahead and connect, and then we're going to do our cable row all over again. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our front post double crochets around each of these cable posts. All right, make two back post double crochets. It's the same, exactly the same as the last row. It's just now it's going to be easier for you to see these two stitches here, and you'll be able to work them much easier. Okay, 4 front post double crochets in a row. Okay, let's go ahead and make the back post double crochets. Now I'm going to have you go ahead and finish this all the way to the end of the row, and I will meet you back to the last 4 stitches. We're going to go ahead and finish off this cable with 4 front post double crochets. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and connect the work over here. Okay, you have the 2 posts here, the 2 back post double crochets. Go between the 2 posts, grab your yarn, oops, and just go ahead and slip stitch. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do another cable row. And this is going to be the last row that I'm going to do with you guys because you're going to know what to do beyond this. You know, if you have any questions about this tutorial, you can always leave comments below, questions in the comments, or we can set up a time to video conference and I can help you and see if we can get your hat made, okay? All right, let's go ahead and do another row. To do the cables, you're going to skip the first 2 posts, go around the 3rd post, and make a front post double crochet. Then go around the last post here and make another front post double crochet. Now you're going to go back to the first one that you skipped and make your front post double crochet, and then around the second one that you skipped and make the front post double crochet there. Okay, and this is what you've done. Now you've crisscrossed again, so now your cable is going like this, and now this one's going to cross over this way. So go ahead and go to the next 2 posts over here, which are your back post double crochets. Make those. And let's go ahead and make the next cable. Okay guys, so go ahead and finish off this row, and then I'm going to meet you back at the very last cable. Alright guys, we're at the very end here, and we're about to do this last cable here. Let's go ahead and finish off this cable together. Alright, go ahead and go between these 2 next posts here, grab your yarn, pull it through, and go ahead and make a slip stitch, and you're done with that. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave you to do what needs to be done. This row you're going to go ahead and work the back post double crochets with back post double crochets. work all of the front post double crochets with front post double crochets, and then when you get to the end, remember to go ahead and slip stitch between the two posts, and then start a new row, and you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to make your back post double crochets around the back post double crochets, and then the front post double crochets around the front post double crochets. I would like you to have at least, let's see how many cables we have for this one. As you'll see, we have this first one here, okay? So you'll need to make 1, 2, 3, 4 more of these completed cables, okay? When you finish off this cable here, you've done this one, do 1, 2, 3 more. When you finish off the third one, I will meet you back here and we will finish the hat off together. I've worked my way to this cable here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm at the end of the cable where it gets to its largest point. So if you haven't reached this point yet, go ahead and get to this point where I am now, and then come back and I'll take you from this point on. The next row, what we're going to go ahead and do is taper this with another crossover for cable row, and then we're going to go ahead and do some decreasing. And this part of the hat is actually, I think, a lot of fun to do. So get yourself up to the point where I'm at right here, and I'll meet you back here. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and continue. Now we're going to go ahead and make a row of cables, back post double crochet, and then we're going to move on to the next one and finish off that one as well. Now we're going to go ahead and do the crisscross. Go ahead and do this row by yourself. I'll meet you back at the end here after we've done the last cable. Okay, so we are at the very end of the cabling area. We won't be doing any more cabling through the rest of the hat. So what we're going to go ahead and do is build this cable up a couple of rows. So we're going to go ahead and take our chain 1, go around, make the back post double crochet, okay, and then go ahead and make your next back post double crochet here. Build this cable here. So you guys know what to do. Do this row by yourselves, and then I will meet you at the very last cable. I'm going to go ahead and finish this off. And then we're going to go ahead and connect it when we're finished between the posts of the two back post double crochets right here. Okay, so what we have to do is another row of back post double crochets and front post double crochets to build it up to that one last layer of height, and then we're going to start our decreases. Alright, so now here we are at the last cable. I'm going to go ahead and finish that off with 4 front post double crochets. Then we will connect the rows. Here. Alright. Now, the next part of this up here is we start a decrease, which means that we now have to start tapering the top of the hat down a bit. We need to bring it from this to this. Go ahead and make your first single crochet. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to back post double crochet through here, and we're going to go around both of the back post double crochets. Okay, so go around 1, 2, skip over that space, go over the other one like this, grab the yarn and pull it through, and go ahead and finish off your single crochet like that and chain one. Now instead of cabling, what we're going to do is decrease the stitches by 2 each time around. So we'll be what's called crocheting 2 together. Yarn over. You're going to do the front post double crochet, but just like you did the back post double crochet, you're going to go between here, go past that first opening here, go behind the other one so that you have both of these on there. Grab that yarn and pull it through behind both of your posts and go ahead and continue on. Alright, and do that the same way with your other 2 front post double crochets. Get them both on your hook and then go ahead and finish them off like that. Now continue around doing your decreases. This isn't going to take very long because now instead of having 60, you're going to decrease down to 30 stitches. So what's going to wind up happening is you're going to have this taper that happened here on the hat. It's going to start to go inward like this, okay? Which is what you want. So go ahead and finish off your decreases and I will see you at the other side. Okay then, I am now at the very end of this row. I'm going to go ahead and connect this row here. Now we're going to go ahead and make another back post double crochet right there, and then we're going to go ahead and just crochet around the stitches that you see as they are. Back post double crochets around the back post double crochets, the front post double crochets around the front post double crochets, all the way around to the end of the row. Alright, so now we're at the very end. Go ahead and make that very last front post double crochet. Come over here between your back post double crochet and your front post and go ahead and just connect your row. Alright, so for the next row, what we're going to do is another decrease row. We have 1 back post double crochet, 2 back post double crochets. What we're going to do is make a back post double crochet here. And then we're going to go ahead and decrease the front post double crochets by doing the same thing with these that we did the last decrease row. So now this is going to bring the dome of the hat in even more. It's going to start to do this thing. So go ahead, make your back posts around the back post and do your decrease around the front post double crochets. Here we are at the last decrease. Go ahead and make that last decrease around the front post double crochets, and then connect your work over here and with a slip stitch. There you go. Alright, now let's see where we are. Right now you can see that the hat is going in like this. So what we're going to do is make another row, what we just did. Okay, now let's do the very last front post double crochet and connect between these 2 posts. Grab your yarn, make a slip stitch, and there you go. All right, guys, this is the end of your hat. We've tapered it just enough to where now what you need to do is get a pair of scissors. You need to go ahead and make, I would say probably about 6 or 7 inches of accessible yarn here. What you're going to do is take your hook back through the loop, pull it tight, grab your yarn once, pull it through, grab your yarn again and pull it through, and pull your yarn out. With your fingernail or finger and fingers like this holding it, push that yarn down and pull the strand up until it tightens. Not too hard because you'll break your yarn. Now we're going to close up the top with a yarn needle, so grab that now. Alright, so you need to have one of these little yarn needles. They're fairly sharp at the bottom and they have these big eyes on them so that you can get your yarn through. And now we're going to go ahead and weave up this top. So the way we do this is we take the needle through between the posts here, around the posts like this. So basically you're going around the front post in the back like you were with your crochet hook when you made your front post double crochets, and then you go around the front of the back post double crochet as you would if you were doing a back post double crochet. So all of your back post double crochets are in the back of your needle, all the front post double crochets are on the front of the needle. So you're just going to keep going like that and weave it back and forth in between the stitches just like this. If you have to, go ahead and pull it through. And then just keep going just like that until you get to where you started, which would mean I started, let's see, it was right about up here. Right about there is the knot, so be looking for the knot. Go in front of this back post, around the front post here, and then in front of the back post and around this front post, and then you can pull. Now go ahead and pull the top of the hat closed. Now what I'm going to have you do is hold it tight like this. Take your needle, go up underneath this loop right here, and push your needle through. Pull it out on the other side. Okay? Do the same thing on this side. Go over here and put it through a loop and pull it through. Now we're going to basically sew the top up. Now turn it over a little bit, and then I want you to go up from this side like you're going to crisscross it. Go up through there like this, and then back down this side. Now this is kind of perfect for you to put a pom-pom on now. It's ready to go if you want to put a pom-pom. Now what you want to do is inside the middle right here, you want to take your needle and go right down, straight down the center right here. Take your hand inside the hat and pull it through, and then you can basically just pull your hat inside out. And then what you want to do is finish this off here by putting your needle up underneath some of the yarn here, wherever you can get it here, and then go back and forth like this in different spots. Now what you want to do is leave a little bit of loop, put your needle through the loop once, bring your needle around and put it through the loop again, pull it, and then let it knot. Okay? Now if you're going to put a pom-pom on here, go ahead and leave this strand because you're going to need it where it is. And what you're going to want to do is come down here where you have your little straggly. This was from the brim of the hat, remember, when we made all this? Go ahead and put that in your needle. And then let's hide the yarn. Take the yarn up a certain section here. Let me see if I can focus. Push the needle through a row like this, straight up, and then pull it through a little bit, not too tight, but just enough till that stops. Then come over around a different row, like on this side here, and push it through here and down, so you can't see the yarn. Just push it down, and then keep going until it comes out here, and then pull it until it stops right there. You don't want to make it look like it's pulling inward. And then go back up on this side again, go straight up with your needle under those loops, pull it out. Now if you do it 3 times like I just did, it's never going to come out. Alright, so now you need your scissors, and as close as you can get to your work without cutting the work, go ahead and snip that off. Play with it a little bit, kind of get that yarn situated in there. And now turn the hat back right side out and admire your work.